Two guys of Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write this down.
Write that down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Okay, the OG edition of Write That Down for about a decade. The only show in America that actually puts statistics next to our predictions, has the stones enough to admit that we were wrong very publicly here. We have a football edition of this. Write That Down over on Purple Daily every single week. But every Wednesday, we admit that we are wrong. We make new predictions. And we're going to get to the accountability session. We'll get to our predictions after we say hello to MSP Plumbing and Heating, helping to power predictions this week.
They absolutely are, and we definitely appreciate that. And there is a truck right now, and there is a service
Declan?
guy. No, it's not Declan. It's not Declan. It looks like Declan's. It actually does look like Declan.
Hold on.
That does look like you.
Can we see it again, maybe?
That's hilarious.
That was terrifying. I mean, that's
It
a
looks like
long-lost
Declan.
brother.
That is incredible. But
There
guess
he
what?
is.
If that was Dex, he would believe in commitment, because commitment is one of the most important words at MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air. That's right.
The
That's
old Dex
because-
didn't.
Yeah.
That's because for over a century, can I get through this read? That's because for over a century, families have relied on MSP for all their plumbing, drains, heating, and cooling needs. As a 100% family-owned and operated business, MSP committed to taking care of you and your family. Incredibly important this time of year when it's cold outside. Anything goes wrong with the old furnace, it has to be fixed immediately. Right now, get $50 off any HVAC or plumbing repair. Call 651-615-4292 or check them out at their easy-to-find website. Call MSP.com, and who knows, the guy who looks like Declan might show up at
Might
your
show up.
house.
Be crazy.
Write it down. You like
But he's very
writing things
committed.
down.
He's more committed than Declan.
I'm committed. I got
I'm
multiple
not saying
wedding
you're not
rings
committed
that
to
way.
your
The
wife.
old Declan
Yeah.
we're talking about.
The old
old
Declan.
Declan.
Roaming around the North Loop like there was no tomorrow.
That was a different
YOLOing
time.
it.
Giggity,
what's-
giggity.
Hey, what's
Giggity,
going on?
goo.
Hey,
Giggity
what's
goo.
going on?
Stick around.
Let's go through the let's go through the accountability here. Okay, 3 predictions from everybody each week. That's how this works. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs statistically. And listeners, if you want to participate, we're trying to track down our guy Devin here. Otherwise, we'll just go a cappella. You can send Declan a message through the Score North app. Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Let's start with Judd. Some season-long things coming off the board in the NFL too, or some like 2024 calendar year things. The Write That Down season runs through the Super Bowl, so we have another month left before we decide winners in the categories. But you said Netflix will have issues with the NFL telecasts on Christmas Day, like buffering or glitches, something that's a big deal. You'll know it when you see it, like the Tyson Paul fight.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gotten there
What happened?
with Christmas Day and then with the live Monday Night Raw on Monday. They've kind of fixed their glitches.
Yeah.
Now, were there that because it was or it is worldwide? Did the amount of view? I mean, I have a hard time believing that there weren't millions of people watching the football game. I think that there were, but did the fight exceed that?
Oh, it's horrible. Oh, the views. The views
No,
of
like
them?
I'm saying, was
I
there a
don't know.
reason why it glitched?
It's worldwide.
beyond-
All of them are worldwide. Like none of them are like
Right.
geofenced to the U.S.
Right. I love that.
I don't know. And they're very dodgy with the numbers they put out. It's
Yes,
hard
they
to
are.
say.
Yes, they are.
You said James Jimmy Snuggerud would sign with the Blues in the 2024 calendar year, score at least 1 goal in the regular season or playoffs. That has not happened.
Surprised everyone by not doing it.
Yeah. Me too.
No. Gave him till the end of December just to see, but
Yeah, no.
because that does happen. Didn't that happen with like Kyle Oposo? Didn't he bolt like
He's one of the
mid-season?
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got pulled out, which is still a terrible move. But it's very classless and rare. But it would not have been classless of the Blues to sign Snuggerud at the end of last season.
Yeah.
And then he goes and plays for him, which he elected not to do.
And then this is the oldest remaining prediction on the board. You made this prediction back in 2015 on the old 1500 ESPN Mackey and Judd 4-hour radio show. You said Big Ten restaurant will reopen somewhere on East Bank, and then we eventually put an end date of 2024 on it, like a few years ago. And man,
Oh, great club
the
sandwich, right?
subs, the
Yeah,
subs
the
at that
subs.
place.
Yeah, my dad and I used to go there.
Oh, great subs and fries.
They had
fries were
the
delicious.
waffle fries. Oh man, so good.
Yeah.
So someone should do that. Reopen that Big Ten restaurant.
They actually had it before I saw the Duke's Mayo Bowl. They actually had a side of mayonnaise with your fries to dip them in.
Was it straight mayonnaise? I'm trying to remember. Was it like an aioli kind of a thing? It was just straight. I think
it was
mayonnaise.
straight mayonnaise at the time. Pretty damn good at the time until I saw the bowl.
Yeah, they used to have
mayo anymore.
Big Ten restaurant, and then they had that campus pizza. They were kind of right next to each other or across the street.
Yep.
Oh, man,
and there was a Big Ten, as I recall, for a while in downtown Hopkins, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, great subs, though. You guys are all over it.
And then in the green, you said we're going to go back and relitigate some of the Cat return to Target Center stuff here from 3 weeks ago. You said Cat will receive a tribute video that lasts a minute or longer and will receive a standing ovation. All of that, and then a second tribute video for Cat.
For community service.
Yep. And then you said the Gopher football team will win their bowl game. 6-0, PJ
And
Fleck.
8-0, right? Since I think they've won their past 8 because they won the Clay's won his.
The Holiday Bowl.
The Holiday Bowl in San Diego.
And then did Jerry Kill win one too?
I think there was one before that.
So 8-0, one of the great undefeated bowl streaks in college football history. Never mind that like a fourth of them are the Quick Lane Bowl, but that's okay. Okay, a lot of stuff came off the board for old Macadac here.
Go.
Said Jaden McDaniels will have a double-digit rebound game against the Knicks. The Wolves would beat the Knicks, and Ant would outscore Cat, and Cat would be called for at least 2 fouls in the first quarter because he's too amped up. None of those things came close to happening. I said Johnny Manziel will be arrested or cited by the end of the 2024 calendar year.
I'm shocked.
I am too. Said Rob Dillingham would score 20 points in a game by Christmas Day. Said the Dolphins and then also the Bengals would claw their way back and make the AFC playoff bracket. They were both right there at the very end, but couldn't quite complete it. Said the Commanders would win the NFC East. Aaron Rodgers will either miss a start due to injury before November and or will have the highest interception percentage of his career. And then, I don't know, like 7 years ago, I said the Twins would pluck someone from the Cubs front office, but I didn't put an end date on it. Well, we finally put a 2024 end date on this thing, and I don't think they've done that. So I think it's just Derek Falvey now is the only person in the front office. It's him and then the new general manager just running a dictatorship.
Jeremy Zoll.
Jeremy Zoll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, but we brought back Ari Adrianza as a minor league infield coordinator.
Did
they? Okay.
Yeah, they brought back EA, as Rocco called him.
He retired like 2 weeks ago. So
he's on like a fat, like I think. Wait a minute, I think he was with the Cubs. Where did
Wait a second. Look at this.
Hold on.
No, he was playing though.
He was playing, but then he transitioned to a role. Hold on.
Okay, let's look this up. Ira Adrianza. Does he even have a Wikipedia page?
He does have a Wikipedia page.
There it is.
I thought
they
he
hired him for
last
player
year and
development.
retired.
Okay, so he was with the Braves, the Angels.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he spent any time with the Cubs. I don't think. I'll do some digging on that. I don't want to hold the show up too long for.
No, that's fine.
Ira Adrianza Googling.
We all appreciate that.
Well, I think we'll leave this one on the board for semantics. I said Brian Flores will get a coaching interview with the Bears. They requested it, but until it happens, this has to stay on the board. In the green, I said the Rams would win their division. And then a couple of home runs. I told you guys before he even took an NFL job last year that Jim Harbaugh, so it was kind of a parlay, that Jim Harbaugh will be hired by an NFL team. But the prediction was that he will coach in the NFL playoffs for the 2024 season.
Very nice.
Well done.
There he is with his khakis and cleats.
Yep.
And then I told you guys in the preseason that 2 of the vaunted NFC teams, Cowboys, 49ers, Lions, Eagles, at least 2 of those teams would miss the playoffs in 2024. Niners and Cowboys, come on down. So not a great week, but a couple home runs there. Listeners, I think we have 2 pages here. Yep. So we'll start with the red. I won't go through all these, but Aaron Jones, Justin said Aaron Jones over 100 and a touchdown against the Seahawks. Hawkinson would have a touchdown against the Seahawks. Charles and Tony said the Gophers would win their bowl game and the offense would score at least 25 points. They won 24-10.
Dang.
Terrible beat. Jake said Jordan Love would finish with a lower QBR, completion percentage, touchdown percentage, and INT rate than Darnold. QBR, Jordan Love actually had a higher QBR than Sam Darnold. Marshall said Jordan Love would have a higher passer rating under 90 and 15 or more interceptions. He did stop throwing interceptions. And then some Viking stuff here. Shane said Jefferson would have a 2,000-yard season. Will said the Vikings would have a punt return touchdown in 2024. And a couple others. You can see the full list on the YouTube edition. In the green, Dylan said, and by the way, we'll get to, we see you down there, Devin. We'll get to you in a couple minutes here, guest listener predictor. Dylan said NFC North would have the best cumulative record in the NFL by the end of the season. Shane said Cam Akers would have more total yards than Ty Chandler. And then wrestling fan John had a parlay. He said Gable Steveson would not make the Bills 53. Joe Tessitore would last longer than 5 months with WWE.
Oh, this is great.
And within the first hour of Raw on Netflix, a wrestler will willingly swear.
Yeah.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
What
dropped
word
it.
did we get?
I think it was the SH. The SH.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
that's barely even swearing now.
And the
Okay, that's
crowd,
fine.
the crowd chants are no longer bleeped either, which is
Oh, the
phenomenal.
crowd was chanting "F you" at a wrestler.
Yeah.
And they did not.
And we
They
used
don't
to
bleep
edit
that
that
anymore,
out
which
for
is
obvious
great.
reasons. Okay.
And then Dex, you said at least one double-digit seed in the college football playoff would win that first round. The Wolves would beat the Knicks, and Cat would have 5 fouls before the fourth quarter. And Dante DiVincenzo would have a 30-point game at some point before the end of 2024. So kind of a rough week there. But look at this, man. With a month
boy.
to go in the season,
Oh boy.
Declan has a narrow batting average lead, 318. I'm at 317. But the listeners at 302 and Judd at 296 are also still in the mix for the batting average title. And the home run race, listeners and myself with 13 homers, you guys each have 11. So every category for all participants is wide open for the taking here in the last month. All-time stats, Declan leads with a 352 batting average. Judd with 350 hits. Listeners with 68 career home runs. All right, let's get Devin in here. He's the guest listener predictor on Write That Down. Devin, rocking the Jordan Addison jersey. What's going on, man? Hopefully you have a better week than Jordan Addison did last week.
Yeah, no kidding. But I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Excellent.
We're doing well. I think everyone's kind of gotten over the sting of Sunday night. Moving forward, when did you become a Minnesota sports fan or a Vikings fan, and how do you feel about the Vikes going into the wild card weekend?
Well, I've been a Minnesota sports fan ever since I can remember being conscious, anyways. A lot of heartbreak, but I feel like the Vikings will do great. Everyone's kind of hating on Sam Darnold right now, and I just think it's crazy how everyone's just singing his praise, the past 9 games, and then, heaven forbid he has a bad game, But I think we'll do great. I think we'll beat the Rams. I think we'll meet back up with the Lions and beat the Lions. And
Man, this could be
I'm ready.
the ultimate redemption
There's
tour.
nothing like youth, man. There's nothing like youth to just keep powering through. I love it.
Is there a way? I think this could happen, right? That you could redeem your 2 regular season losses, or 3, I guess, between the Rams and the Lions, and then you could redeem your 2017 NFC Championship game loss at Philadelphia before redeeming your 1960 whatever Super Bowl loss against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. A full month-long redemption tour.
Where's the flag, Judd?
Come on, Judd.
Hold on. I've got
Your arm,
that's a
your
lot
shoulder
to ask.
fatigue.
That's a lot to ask. There we go. We're
Come
gonna
on.
be slow.
What is this?
It's going to be very slow. We're not going to.
Come on, the ultimate Vikings redemption tour. Let's go.
Oh, my God. So what was your first Vikings heartbreak?
Well, I wasn't really conscious for the 2009 loss. I don't really remember it at all. So I don't remember the Brett Favre season at all, really. My first like ever heartbreak where the Vikings had me in tears would have to be the Blair Walsh shank for sure.
Okay.
God, it's a sneaky one, man. It's an underrated one because we didn't think of that team as a contender, but as Declan's laid out a million times, the NFC was weak.
Mhm.
Man, you had a chance to roll through and old Blair Walsh. But hey, a bunch of first graders wrote him letters after the season to make everyone feel good. So,
Write this down.
all right, Devin, we're going to start off with you over to Judd, Declan back to me. Really, the predictions can be anything you want. They just have to be quantifiable. So, what's your first prediction?
So the Timberwolves haven't really gotten off to the greatest start this year. Kind of been really frustrating between, you know, Randall and just DiVincenzo not performing. Just hold on, I could go on, but um, I I predict, write this down, that the Anthony Edwards will score a 50-point game, and then we'll actually win that game this time.
At some point during the season? Any point during the
Yes,
season? Okay.
at some point during the season.
Yeah. Man, he was 7 of 11 from downtown last night. He had a couple absolute, I'll use bonehead again from the previous episode. Kylie called Dan Campbell a bonehead on Purple Daily. He had the missed alley-oop that could have ended the game, and then he tried to like go behind the back and split the defense when all they needed was to just run clock and either take a foul or get a basket. But other than those two plays, man, he has come alive in these last three. The 53 was like an angry 53, but then the last two games starting with DDV, Ant has an energy about him now. And maybe some of it was the TNT guys clowning him and just him, like, it's almost like his ego came alive and his joyfulness came alive in the last couple games.
It's the bracelet from Luca. It's the orange bracelet.
Yes. I love it. All right, Judd.
That's great. All right.
Write this down.
Matt Boldy will score at least 2 goals in the Wild's next 3 games. So they play Colorado on Thursday, then they go to San Jose on Saturday, and then they play the Vegas Golden Knights on Sunday. Matt Boldy will score at least 2 goals, if not more, in that time. He scored 1 last night. He is.
Who's going to get the assists?
Speaking of
Primary
coming
assist.
alive, Zuccarello will get
Over
an
to
assist.
Zuccarello?
See, here's the problem. Kaprizov's still not
Over
skating.
to Park.
So they're winning, but he's still not skating. Very concerned. Very concerned. Hey, the 25-year team for each team is being named this week. The Wild came out yesterday. A lot of familiar names. Koivu.
Gabrick.
Do we have
Over.
lines? Or is
Yeah.
it just like rosters?
3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a goaltender. Nick Backstrom was the goaltender. The defensemen are Spurgeon and Brodin, and the first line is Gabrick,
Oh,
Kaprizov,
oh.
and
Parise?
No, Parise was on the second team.
We need a center too, right? Are they doing
and Koivu.
positions? Koivu. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so but that's the first team.
That's
all
the first
Wild?
team, and the second team had Parise on it.
Do we go third? Do we have third team? Third
We
line?
don't have third team, thank God. There would be no way. We
Willie
talked about it
Mitchell.
on
The late
Thomas
JHS
Vanek.
Sergei Zoltak.
because Jesse and I both got to vote, and it's like if you got the third team, by the time you got the third team, yeah, you would be just scraping the bottom
Bruno.
of the bear. Just not good.
Wes Walls.
Bruno was on the second team.
Was
Bruno
Wes
wasn't on
Walls
the
in there
second team?
somewhere?
Wow.
No, Wes Walls was not.
Okay.
Wes Walls was not.
It's a fun
Write
exercise.
this down.
All right, over to Dex. First
All right, I'll
prediction.
make an Ant prediction too. So write this down. Now through the All-Star break, Anthony Edwards will get another $100,000 fine. So I'm
So
gonna,
it has to be a singular fine of 100,000.
of 100,000.
Okay.
And I have in the spreadsheet too. Comments made at the All-Star break or festivities or weekend count.
Okay.
So through the All-Star break, Ant will get another $100K fine. Write it down.
Can't help himself, man.
No, he
can't
can't.
help
Write
himself.
this
He
down.
did say hell a couple of days ago, and then stopped
not a-
and then stopped and asked the reporters if that was a curse word.
That's him. That's him
He
trying
said,
to
"Is that
troll.
curse word?"
Yeah.
He says, "Is that curse word?" It was pretty funny though.
Okay, I'll make a Wolves prediction here too.
Write this down.
So right now, as Devin laid out, it's been kind of a buzzkill so far this year. Although they show these flashes, and then they'll lose 3 games in a row. Then they've shown some more flashes now the last 2 games with the starting lineup change. So I am still drinking that Wolves Kool-Aid. They are only a game and a half back of the 4 seed. They're sitting in the 8 seed spot. So I'm going to say this. Write this down. at some point before the end of the season, the Wolves will climb to at least the 4 seed, which would be a first-round home playoff. I'm not saying they'll end there, but at some point they will be 4 seed or better in the Western Conference, despite the terrible start. The Nuggets are the 4 seed right now at 20-15. So there's just a lot of like flawed or injured teams between 4 all the way down to the Suns at 12, and they're just sitting every day with a new trade rumor. So write it down.
Write this down.
Devin, back to you.
Oh, you're muted, Devin. You just got to mute yourself.
Thank you.
Oh,
Can I make a show related prediction like about one of you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay, sweet. Declan, take those headphones off.
Oh, second time
Oh, wow.
today.
2 for 2 today.
On
Let's go.
Purple Daily, write that down too.
Oh.
Yes. Finally not me.
All right. So this past year, Declan has missed a bunch of shows due to weddings. I predict, write this down, that Declan will miss at least 2.5 shows due to a wedding related.
In the calendar year 2025?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, at least let's just say can we say 2 or 3 to make it easier, cuz he'll either take
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I was doing the over unders.
You want to take 3 or 2?
I'll take 3.
Okay. We'll miss at least 3.
That's awesome.
We'll say days of recording
Yep.
due to weddings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make
That's-
sure I'm
that's
logging this correctly.
A great prediction too.
Okay. There we go. All right, Dex, you can come back. Come on back.
Yep. Come on back.
All right.
All right. I don't think it's not possible for this to come off the board during the show here either. So you're safe at least during the show, I think. Unless you want to announce something. No?
No.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
not gonna. Okay. All right.
Just want to check. Probably a long-term prediction. Probably a long-term prediction, but we'll see. Now he's going to be thinking about it
Could
every
be something to
waking
do with the
second.
stash. I
I'm
wonder.
gonna be laying in bed tonight, just being like, "What the
I
hell?"
wonder if it could
did
have something
Devin
to do with
and
the,
Kylie say about
A Vikings win streak in the stash. I don't know.
We'll see.
Write this down.
Uh-huh.
All right, Judd, your second prediction.
All right, my second prediction is one that is going to. I know you guys are going to be shocked by this. Go into next season or this year, but the Twins season. So, the Twins' attendance at Target Field in 2025 will be below the 1.8 million they drew in 2022. That's the lowest attendance in a season not impacted by COVID. So 2020, they didn't have fans. 21, they had serious restrictions, so it was below 1.8. But the 1.8 was their lowest in a normal season. They are going to beat that record.
So they're going to have bad attendance. So we were kind of talking on our text thread, and we'll pump out a Score North Twin show tomorrow. But The Athletic reported that the Twins may wrap this whole thing up before opening day. And if it's the Ishbias, when Matt Ishbia bought the Suns a few years ago, and he's kind of train wrecked that roster a little bit, but it's like, we're going to spend, I'm going to come in here, we're going to win championships, and he gets people excited.
Yep.
And I do wonder if there's a breath of fresh air with an ownership change. Let's say because they've got some talented players, even though they've done nothing this offseason. If Royce Lewis is hot early and Brooks Lee clicks and Correa, like, they could start pretty hot with a new ownership group. And I could actually see goodwill coming back into that franchise. A lot of ifs there, but
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs there.
but do you
And
really
like-
think it's if they sell the team before to an exciting new ownership group? Don't you think people are going to jump on board a little bit? Just okay, finally the poll ads reign of cheapness.
Yeah, if they come in and make moves, yes.
which they might not be able to make
I'm
moves
just-
like if they own the team in April. But
Yeah, that's what I'm just right now. Like it looks like the Caravan has like 2 stops on it or something.
well,
I just
I'm not
got
sure
a
there's
note-
much of a demand for.
Yeah, I just got a
Twins
note from a
Caravan
guy
right now.
who's like they're not going to come to Duluth.
Yeah.
Because I'm
You'll
like
be
Declan.
fine.
Most of us love Duluth.
Wonder why.
I gotta rip Duluth like that.
Those poor people in Fergus Falls aren't going to get to see these Twins players on the Caravan.
You know, I feel sorry
Redwood
for.
Falls?
I think it's probably a highlight if you're in a small
Hibbing?
town. The baseball team comes to town.
Usually
you go
it would be, but I don't think it's.
You go to a banquet. You get some good grub.
Do they cater the Twins caravan things? I don't know. Okay, back to Declan for your second prediction.
All right, I'll make a Twins one too. Write this down. The Twins opening day first baseman is currently not on the Twins roster. So they're opening day
Justin
first
Morneau going to
baseman.
make a comeback, or
Morneau might make a
what are the
comeback.
options right now?
Yeah.
Julian, Miranda, they signed
John Singleton still out there?
God.
Polar Bear. Polar Bear's out there. Polar Bear
Pete?
is going to be signed by the Ishbias.
Williams Astudillo. Does he have a first baseman glove?
You
still?
know what? I'm so glad
can't-
that clown's gone.
I can't tell you how like Rocco could not stand putting slappies at first base, and he might be forced to because they literally have $0 to add someone. But I don't think Julian or Miranda, unless there's strides significantly being made right now or in spring training, I'm going to bet it's someone that is not on the roster.
Okay. All right.
Write this down.
Write this down. I'm going to go with an AFC wildcard weekend 3-item parlay. When we do 3-item parlays, they are almost always home runs. So I'm looking for a home run here. Give me the Ravens and the Bills, which are favorites. Give me the Chargers, which I think are maybe narrow favorites, but they're a road team going in. So give me Chargers, Ravens, Bills in the AFC playoffs this super wild card weekend. Write it down.
Write this down.
All right, Devin, your third and final prediction.
All right. I don't know if you guys saw JJ McCarthy sitting on the sideline of the Detroit game,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but I'm a big Star Wars fan, and he looked like one of my favorite characters across all of fiction, Anakin Skywalker. I think JJ McCarthy, the bad man. I think he is going to be the Viking starter this upcoming year for sure, and I think he will break the rookie passing yards for the Vikings.
So can we say he will start the most games, or start, just to quantify it, start week 1 or start the most games for
He
the
will
starter?
start. He will start the most games, and he'll break the rookie passing
Passing yards
yards
record. Okay.
for the Vikings.
Who had, because Culpepper wasn't a rookie when he came in. Who has the Vikings? Is it
Teddy?
Is it Teddy?
Teddy, maybe? Tommy Kramer? He started.
Here's a question.
Rand
Does
Tarkenton.
the injury toll McCarthy's status? So is he officially a rookie next year?
That's why I put it in air quotes. So
Yeah.
he's gonna be a
Yeah, first
rookie.
year.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
so
don't
how
know.
about this?
I don't know.
What if we say this then? He will have more passing yards than any other Vikings first year starter, like first year in the league as a starter. That would bring Culpepper into play, obviously. Because
Yeah, I
he's
like
not
that.
he's not a rookie, so he would have to compete. So it'd be like first year in the league. It can't be first year as a Viking starter because then Brett Favre, but first year NFL starter. That would be a way to quantify it. Okay.
Like it.
All right, Devin. Good predictions. Since you've got this life-changing platform right now, is there anyone you'd like to thank that helped you get here today?
For sure, my dad, Mike. He's definitely been anything sports that I've just grown up, and he's taught me everything about him, and just made me fall in love with sports. So I want to shout him out for sure. Shout out my mom and everyone in my family for putting up with my extreme fanatics, as you could say. I want to shout out you guys. You guys are awesome. I've been listening to you guys consistently for almost 3 years now. I listen to you guys all through work, and just I sent Dex that screenshot of my how many minutes listened. I think I was up to 12,000 minutes and it was just all your guys'
dude.
different
Thank you.
podcasts.
Spotify,
So-
your Spotify Wrapped or whatever. That's cool. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so I just want to shout out you guys, and thanks for letting me on. Hopefully I can come back on in the future. It'd be great.
Definitely. We'll get you on again, Devin. Good luck with your predictions. Enjoy
Thanks, guys.
Super Wild Card Weekend. And we'll
Yep,
see you
go-
sometime down
Skull
the road.
Vikes, let's go.
Yep. Free
Let's
3.
go, Vikings.
Free baby. Let's go.
3-3. Let's go. All right, before we get to our final predictions, I want to shout out Pep's Legit Pizza, which is, and you can see on the YouTube channel what I'm talking about. We can, in fact, for the visual audience, I don't even have to say anything. We could just run this B-roll for 30 seconds. You'd be like, yep, okay, I want to try that. So I was tipped off about Legit Pizza maybe 2 months ago, and I was walking through a local grocery store in the Twin Cities, and I happened to see it right in the window as I was, they got like 6 doors of frozen pizzas or whatever, and there it was. So I grabbed 3 of them. Crunchy crust, robust sauce, flavorful ingredients, melty cheese, kind of a throwback to your childhood favorite pizzeria. Just absolutely incredible pizza. Find legit pizzas at a store near you around the Twin Cities and have an authentic at-home pizza parlor experience. Judd, what is your third and final prediction?
Write that down.
My third and final prediction is the Super Bowl matchup. The Super Bowl matchup will be the Buffalo Bills against the Detroit Lions.
That'd be a fun one. Be more fun if it was the Vikings, obviously.
Yeah.
But
that'll be a lot of angst right there, though.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow.
The Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. The Bills have never won one. Very Vikings-like in Buffalo. I think we're going to get in New Orleans, Buffalo, Detroit.
Yeah, you're right about angst, man. It would just be one franchise fan base would be so devastated because, oh my gosh, how we got here for the first time or again.
I'd be
how
rooting
could
for
we
Buffalo.
not cash it? I would too. The Lions are not. It's kind of amazing because, like, on paper, the Lions appear to be likable, right? It's this bumbling franchise and Dan Campbell, and maybe it's just from a Vikings perspective. I find the Bills to be a much more likable story. I don't know.
Did you guys see all of the stories coming from Detroit about the Vikings' girlfriends and wives and how badly they were
getting
treated?
like
And
physically harassed, dude.
And one person said that she has been to Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Detroit, and the Lions fans were easily the worst, like grabbing them. That's
not good.
Yeah. Well, they don't. I mean, it's like, okay, you guys, you have a good football team for the first time in your lives. That's awesome. Good for you. Calm down. Take a breath.
Since when did going to an NFL game though get to be a free for all? Like you see all these fights and stuff.
I think it's been that way for a long time, but now we're just documenting it with our.
No, you're probably right.
Cameras
yeah, because
on
the
our
dome
phone.
people got, I think, drunker in the dome than they do now. So you're probably right. But I mean, still
cheaper.
Why
cheaper
are you grabbing? Why are you grabbing people? Why are you grabbing?
Don't grab people.
Don't touch people. Stay. I would leave immediately if I got grabbed.
What do you mean? Like if someone just poked you or?
Well, no, it sounds like they were like physically like.
I know, but like where do you, when you say if you got grabbed, you would leave immediately?
Poked, I'm fine. Poked. If you poke me, I'm going to be okay. But like if I got grabbed, I'm out of there. That's it for me. Don't be grabbing me.
Good to know.
Write that down.
Keep those hands away from Judd.
Be normal people.
Write this down. Great segue. The Timberwolves have yet to get to at least 5 games above 500. They've been as high as 3. That's been their highest watermark so far this year of climbing above 500. They have not climbed higher than 3 games above 500. So between now and the All-Star break, the Wolves will get to at least 5 games over 500. They will clear that bar in the next 4.5 weeks or so. I think the All-Star game's like a month away. But they'll get to 5 games above 500 at some point between now and the All-Star break.
Let's go Wolves. Let's get it done.
Write that down.
Okay, write this down. The Gophers are my alma mater. The Gophers are my favorite football team. But my 1B football team, my grandfather played for Newt Rockne almost 100 years ago. Write this down. They're underdogs to do it. I think they're favored to beat Penn State. Ohio State's the best team left in the college football playoff. Mm-hmm. But we're going to wake up the echoes. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to find a way to win their first national championship, I believe since 1988. Notre Dame will win the college football playoff national championship with that defensive front. Write it down.
Write that down.
Let's go. Golden Domers. Marcus Freeman's getting apparently some NFL sniffs behind the scenes, that like his leadership and creativity, youthfulness.
They lucked out with Brian Kelly going to LSU.
Yeah, and Brian Kelly was a very, very, he's one of the best coaches in Notre Dame history. Just couldn't get, and he left because, it's harder to get the best players with these academic standards. So I'm going to go to a school that lets anybody in. And my
and now
family.
he's got to be on a hot seat, right?
Yeah, they are not happy. You can't
You gotta
can't
go
be
there and win.
missing the 12-team college football playoff if you're
No.
LSU and Alabama.
Nor should you ever be. You're right.
So, all right, those are your Write That Down predictions, the OG edition of Write That Down here, where we admit that we are wrong every single Wednesday. Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. We'll hit you with a scoop session and some reckless speculation Thursday tomorrow. See you guys.